Okay.
Thanks. So I'm Chris Rubeck, Sabrina Terizzi, and Gary Kaskowitz, sorry. And, we're working together at Moravian College and Lafayette College. I'm going to put this here. What's the fast way to do this? Control something? F5. Okay, so that's us. So we're going to be focusing on quantitative data, teaching across campuses, and community-based learning and research. So that's kind of what I just said. And in particular, in the fall of 2015, Sabrina will be teaching a class on research methods at Moravian. We've already started a little bit thinking about what the community-based learning and research project will be, but we'll also be working through that at the same time. In the spring of 2016, then Gary and I will be teaching marketing research across the two campuses. And so we have some general goals for learning, and those go both together with this new course that Sabrina's introducing at Moravian, as well as generally with marketing research in general. And I might say that at Lafayette, this is within the Department of Economics. At Moravian, it's within a more broadly defined curriculum, as well as more broadly defined majors. And in fact, feel free to, I guess we have 9 minutes, but maybe there's time for questions, who knows. And so what we've found in the past is that having projects as part of marketing research provides a lot of benefits for students to really use the knowledge that they're getting from class and reinforce that knowledge. Often the challenges and things that students need to do when working through the projects are not nearly as intellectually deep perhaps as an advanced statistical technique is, yet it helps them think about the realities of putting things into practice and also then how they might connect those deeper statistical techniques. And generally, what I've found the couple times that I've done community-based learning and research is that I was worried that students wouldn't appreciate a project as much because they didn't think of the idea. And yet what I've found is they really appreciate knowing that somebody's going to use this information that they're collecting. And even though it's actually a little bit more difficult to organize as well. So in terms of the grant, what we see this is as an opportunity to develop cross-institutional work. And so as we were listening to this keynote presentation, that's kind of more the focus, the idea that it's hard for students to travel across to different campuses. I've found both in my knowledge of my own kids having that opportunity, as much as they wanted to in the Boston area travel to different campuses, just didn't happen. The scheduling process is difficult. I know too from doing these previous community-based learning aspects that it's hard for students just to get off campus, let alone to travel to another campus. Regardless of whether they have cars or not, their schedules are so packed. Sure, some of it's social, yeah, that's fine. But their schedules are so packed that it's really difficult to fit that in. And I think that doing this together allows students to have this multi-institutional experience. I think also, I know at Lafayette, in joint teaching projects that I've done and others have done on campus, and I'm sure it's happening on other campuses as well, it's hard for an institution to financially really work in joint teaching. It's hard to have two PhDs standing up in front of a class. And I think that with Gary and me, this is actually probably more feasible for our institutions to back up the idea of joint teaching of a class. And actually, as I reflected on this during the talk that we listened to from Jenny, the idea is we're going to learn a lot from each other because we're teaching a similar class, but I'm also thinking in the future this might be something really good to do with somebody who has an entirely different background. I think Gary and I are going to learn a lot from each other and from Sabrina, although Sabrina and I have already collaborated quite a bit, that it's those differences in background that's also going to happen as well. So this also mentions some of the previous projects that we've had. I'm not keeping track of time.
We've got 4 minutes.
Awesome. Great. And so, we also want to think about what it is in general that this type of class provides to students. Obviously, once students are going out into the working world, regardless what kind of job they have, they're going to be working as a part of a team. They're very seldom going to be graded, or evaluated individually, or at least their individual evaluations are going to be impacted hugely by the team members that they're working with. And so thinking in that way, I think, helps them realize what's going to be and prepare for that. Also, in terms of career exploration, in terms of both the research methods class, it gives students the ability to think about pursuing a career in that direction, and then particularly within marketing research, regardless of what kind of research a student might be doing in their job, or more importantly, interfacing with research folks in their job. They're going to have a much better knowledge of what the reality is of using this kind of stuff. And in terms of metacognition, I think we have a lot of things going on here in terms of students thinking about what's useful about even the organization of the knowledge in the course that they're going through. They're more likely to say to themselves, oh, I see why we did this first and this next, and I see how surveying connects with the quantitative methods, and I see how important it is to make a short survey and these kinds of things. Actually, that short survey is really huge, right? Anybody who's filled out a survey knows, right? Except when we design them, we mess up. And so also, this collaboration is also going to allow us to think carefully with that last bullet of how we're organizing this community-based learning research and make it more likely that we can have a bigger impact. I love having impact in Easton. I think my Moravian colleagues enjoy having that in Bethlehem, but the idea that we can seed some interaction even amongst community members that way as well. So I've said a lot about this. Maybe I'll kind of jump to the, so this, at the top, there's prereqs for this class, so we're also kind of generating some, and for these classes, we're generating some additional relearning, re-emphasis of what's going on. I'll jump to the bottom that we'll also be coordinating with Lafayette's relatively new Center for Community Engagement. And so really this is about exploration, and I guess we appreciate listening to the rest of it, the folks here about what you're doing and ideas for us as well. There you go.